Hey friend, my name is Bryce Henson, CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp and one of your co-hosts here at the Fit Body Inside Look. Now this show is for our franchise partners and for those who are interested in joining our brand, where we execute meaningful interviews with our franchise partners, internal HQ team, coaches and clients to be able to provide you more insight and to get more acquainted with our brand and also to showcase the business opportunity available. Thanks so much and enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome back friends to another amazing episode of the Fit Body Inside Look. I am so excited. I am here sitting down with my friend and owner of American Fork Fit Body Bootcamp located in Utah, Brooke Bishop, and we're sitting down for a conversation just to give you more insight what her ownership journey has been. But the primary reason I'm here is because in 2024 we launched our first initiative called Freedom Week, which was an initiative to help combat the insidious crime of human trafficking. And the good news is we had our all brander participate in this particular charity drive where we got our clients fit. We also put a competition around it. And if you can believe, American Fork Fit Body was the winner. So my team and I came out. We wanted to show them love, acknowledge them for the hard work. So that was the foundational reason while we're here. We thought we'd shoot a great episode with Brooke just to give you a little bit more insight about her ownership journey. So Brooke, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the success on winning Freedom Week, but more importantly, we just shot an episode with your coaches, which actually wasn't planned.
Yeah.
But walking in here, the vision was, to get a workout in, show you and your whole team and your community love. You could just walk in and sense the culture, the team's buy into you. It was really cool. And afterwards, we asked if you had your permission to showcase your coaches, the brand. We did. So I want to acknowledge you for that. It's been really inspiring to be here this morning.
Thank you. Yeah, they're amazing. I'm lucky. My team's incredible. We're all like they told you, we're all like friends. Like we work with each other, we coach each other. So I love them. I'm very grateful for them.
I want to talk a little bit about, as I have my questions about your family and all that, but what you can just immediately tell they're bought in, not only to Fit Body, which they're very grateful for the training, the support, the structure, going to World Conference, all this, but they're also bought into you, Brooke. So what about you, and what do you look for, if you will? Like, how did you vet and then bring on a team of people that are bought into the brand, bought into your members, bought into the culture, and bought into you?
Yeah, so I start by kind of sending them, whenever they apply for a position, I send them an email that's kind of going over, this is what Fit Body is. Like, is this something you would be interested in? And if they say yeah, I'm like, hey, awesome, send me a video of yourself. I want a 2-minute video. I want to know about you, like your experience and why you think you'd be a good fit for our team. And that would be uncomfortable. Like, I wouldn't really want to do that, but that just shows me that they're like bought into Fit Body. Like, yeah, that's what I want to be a part of that team. And they send me that video, and you can usually tell right off the bat, like, yeah, they're going to be an awesome part of our team, and we'll bring them in. We always make them come in and just try it first. Come in and work out beside our members and feel what Fit Body is, and we'll talk to them after that. And this is what Fit Body is. Like, what do you think? And if they're like, yeah, I want to coach this, I want to be a part of this, then we'll start them on the training process. Fit Body has an amazing coaches onboarding playbook, and it walks them through what Fit Body is, things to watch out for. Really, it just kind of like onboards them for you. And then another big part of like our team is a family in itself, and then obviously we're a Fit Body family with all of our members, but we're communicating with each other almost daily. I'm here a lot too. I'm here like for them in the sessions. I'll be here while they're coaching. Like, they know they have my support all the time. If issues come up, I'm like, I got you, it's fine, don't worry about it. And so just being there for each other all the time, our whole team.
How important has that been for you as a leader? Because you can clearly tell, and I'm just saying this with every fiber of my being, like your coaching team, they're bought in, right? They're bought into you. They feel as if like you genuinely care. How did that come to be, and like what's your relationship like? And how did you create that culture where they feel that connected to you?
Yeah, so we like to do things as a team. We'll do these like team trainings and we'll go over like our members, like these are the members we need to look out for, and like these are some things that have come up in our sessions, like things to watch out for. And I think having those trainings together, and we're all here together and we're talking through these things as a team. And I always make sure they know, like, we're a team, we're in this together. This is not me over you guys. Like, we are one unit, and I'm not above you guys, we're together. And they just also, like, they're bought in because of our members. Like, a lot of it is just the members we have, and they're they see them changing, like the coaches are changing our members' lives, and they
yeah.
see that, and that helps buy them in, because how can you not like want to change somebody's life? So.
Love it. Well, I genuinely wanted the answer for our audience, but I also just want to give you a big kudos because you can just clearly sense that. So.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All right, so before we go into your experience with FitBody and all that, I just want to introduce the audience to you. So where'd you grow up? We're here in a beautiful part of Utah. This is the first time I've been here. I want to know about your family, and I know you have boys and all that. So kind of give us that backstory, if you will.
Yeah, so it is a beautiful part of Utah, and I've been lucky enough to grow up here my whole life. So
really?
I've lived in Utah County my whole life, different cities here and there, but Utah County since I was born. I love it here. There's hiking, biking, fishing, everything is within miles of here. I have 4 boys. They're very fun, energetic. Like, being a mom is the most rewarding thing in the world. Like, helping people change their lives is rewarding, but like being a mom, it's incredible. And
you have 4 boys. What are the age ranges and where are they at in their lives?
Yeah, so my oldest, he's 19. Right now he's working full time, but at the moment, he's off in Hawaii, just hanging out, having fun with his cousin. And then I have a 15-year-old, so he's in high school, and then a 12-year-old in junior high, and a 9-year-old who's in grade school. So I have one in every school this year, but it's a lot of fun.
You have a 19-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
That's a decade split.
Yeah.
What's that look like? Especially not only parenting, but like managing the team and all that. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds wild.
It's awesome, because I was worried about like the 10-year gap, but they're actually really close. Like, my 9-year-old right now, he calls my 19-year-old almost daily because he misses him in Hawaii. So yeah, they're all really close. They get along really good. They're all in sports, or like my 15-year-old's really into cars. My oldest is a basketball player, and then my younger 2 are lacrosse players. So they all have like their own hobbies, but they get along really well. And I waited until my youngest was in full-time school, and then I was like, now it's time for me to follow my dreams. So it's hard with 4 boys, but it's doable, and they all support me, and so it makes it a little bit easier. But
well, you've clearly parented them well. They're all athletic and like into extracurricular activities, which one has been very beneficial in their lives. But I was also too. I mean, it seems to be you look fit. You've also set the model for them as well. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I would start like when it was hard to work out because I had kids or whatever, I would put them in the stroller and just start running when they were little. And then as they got older, I'd have them ride their bike beside me, or we'd go to the track and they'd ride their bikes while I ran. So they've watched me work out and be into fitness since they were born. And they know. They'll tell me if I haven't worked out, if I'm being grumpy, they know, and they'll say, I think you should go work out. So they've noticed what being active does in my life, and so that's definitely helped them.
And now I want to talk about your husband, Matt, but it's a family thing, because I worked out not in the same session as Matt, but also your mom as well, which is really inspiring as well. So just like that fires me up. Was your mom always fit? Did she give you the example, and now you're being able to support her with her fitness? Yeah,
so I have 2 brothers in my family, and our whole family's always been active. We've loved the outdoors, hiking, boating, hunting, all of that fun stuff. And I remember as a little girl, I'd wake up and see my mom doing her aerobics tapes early in the morning, and sometimes I'd jump in with her. But also, like, she would do the same thing. After she got home from work, she'd say, get on your bikes, like, I'm going for a run. And we would ride our bike with her while she ran around the block. Or it wasn't even around the block, it was like 2 or 3 miles every night she's running. So yeah, she set the example for me and my brothers as well. And then she got diagnosed with a couple diseases that kind of slowed her down a little bit. So watching her be back here at FitBody and getting back into the active lifestyle, it's kind of like a full circle. Yeah, and I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about your husband, Matt, who had the opportunity. I guess we've been a couple of trainings together at the World Conference. I didn't get a chance to spend time with him, but I was able to connect with him today. Like, awesome guy, like kindred spirits. I was really impressed there. So tell us a little bit about your husband, Matt. And then I also, kind of part of that journey, want to talk a little bit about when you had the vision for FitBody, like what that looked like. Because in my experience, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes the spouses are like, oh my God, it's amazing. Sometimes the spouses are like, and actually probably more times than not, spouses are like very hesitant, very skeptical as well. So I want to kind of get the backstory of Matt.
Yeah, he was skeptical at first. He was kind of like, so you want to open a gym as a hobby? Like, he thought, like, I mean, he knows I love fitness, and I just wanted to do fitness for fun. And as I showed him more and talked about it more with him and brought him to World Conference, he was kind of like, oh, like, you're actually going to be changing people's lives. And he started to get more and more excited about it. He's always been super supportive of me in anything I wanted to do or anything I did. Like, even we were high school sweethearts, and so.
Which is wild. I feel like I don't
Yeah.
hear that story, at least in Southern California and Los Angeles,
Yeah.
where I live. Maybe it's more prevalent in Utah, but that's really cool.
Yeah. So we started dating when I was a junior and he was a senior, and I was on the high school basketball team and the high school softball team, and he came to every single one of my games. Even the away games that weren't close, he would be there. So he's always been really supportive. So when I said I wanted to open a gym, he was kind of like, okay. I knew he was like gonna support me, but he wasn't sure about it. But after World Conference really changed his perspective on Fit Body, and just the whole, like, it's not a hobby. It's like actually like gonna help people.
What would you say your advice, kind of looking back, if you could do it again, in order to maybe give him access to, like, whether training or World Conference or some sort of event, would there be something that you would do different just to get him to drink the quote-unquote Fit Body Bootcamp Kool-Aid a little bit quicker, just so that way he can seize your vision?
Yeah. So when I went to onsite, I actually brought a family member with me that was going to do my admin stuff for me, because it was hard, like, to take the time off work or to leave the kids, and so we decided to bring this family member with me. But if I had taken him to onsite, I think he would have, because he would have been able to experience Fit Body at onsite, and it would have got him hyped up a little bit sooner, because I came home from onsite like, this is amazing, this is what it is, and he was like, okay. Cool. Yeah.
An on-site experience, by the way, for viewers, is, we call it on-site experience. There's a 5-day training that we have all of our franchise partners attend to make sure that they come to a Fit Body Bootcamp location. In this case, Brooke came to mine. We kick it off with a Sunday dinner to welcome everyone in, because it's not just, one particular set of owners, it's, a handful or so. And then we give them 3 days of tactical training, and then after that, to make sure they have boots on the ground experience, we finish off with a debrief. So that's really the on-site experience, if you will, to be able to present a little bit of insight. It's interesting, sometimes that happens where the spouses can't go. We had a couple that are actually opening in South Carolina, and one of the spouses was just so, hesitant, skeptical, but they both went to on-site experience, and at the feedback day on Thursday was like, oh my God, I'm completely on board, let's go. So that is, to your point, it's a very, very valuable situation. If you can bring your spouse, if you're watching this and you're interested in joining a brand and end up joining our brand, as an example, to bring your spouse or loved one or partner to the on-site experience is really, really important. It's the foundation. If they can't come to that, there's other trainings as well. If you're elite training, World Conference, but regardless, bring them in the environment will help.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So what actually, and I'm kind of leading the witness here because I know you've had experience fitness with another brand, and through that, I think you decided, you know what, hey, I want to own my own, fitness studio and location and build a community. So I'm kind of leading the witness a little bit, but from your perspective, how did this all came to be, and why did you make the decision like, hey, I want to open a Fit Body Bootcamp, business?
Yeah, so I knew in high school I wanted to work in the fitness world. I actually remember the exact moment.
Yeah?
Because I stacked my high school schedule was every active class I could possibly take. I had PE, aerobics, weight training, anything that was movement. That was my high school schedule. And
why? I clearly know the benefits, but I'm curious. I didn't have that thought when I was in high school.
It just was more fun than sitting in a classroom and building a ceramic pot or something. I would rather be in an aerobics class or being out on the track running or whatever. So I just took a lot of active classes, and I was in my weight training class doing tricep kickbacks, and I remember thinking, I'm going to work in the fitness world one day, because I was starting to realize even in high school, like, not everyone enjoyed an active lifestyle or realized the benefits of it. Like, I'm not just working out to look a certain way. Like, there's reasons why I want to be active. And so I remember that moment thinking, like, this is what I'm going to do when I grow up.
In high school?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
But I got certified as a personal trainer, and then I got my group certification, and I got certified to teach Insanity Live. So I don't know if you know what Insanity is. But it's
Beachbody.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to be a humble brag here, but Beachbody, Tony Horton, who's one of the initial instructors, like, this guy changed my life. I went through P90X, which is another program.
Yeah.
Now, he actually follows me, which is crazy. I'm going to connect with it at some point. Tony Horton, I'm coming for you in terms of.
That's
but isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's way cool.
Things come full circle, but bringing it back to the point, I'm definitely very familiar with Insanity being the Beachbody, and that actually is functional fitness, the platform that really opened my eyes before I even joined the brand on the power of that. So continue on.
Yeah, so it opened my eyes to group fitness because I got certified to teach Insanity. I started teaching group fitness because I'd been kind of doing my own workouts in my basement of my house because I had my 4 little boys and I could easily do it. But once I started doing group fitness, I was like, oh crap, I'm never going back to my basement. Like, it's so much more energy. You push yourself harder. Group fitness is just amazing. But every gym I would teach at, there were just things that I was like, oh, I wish they didn't do this, or I wish they did that. And I just never really found a gym to work for that really checked every box. I had kind of, through having my kids, decided I wanted to open my own gym one day, but it wasn't the right time. But I'd started to make a list of what my gym was going to have one day.
So you literally had this vision.
Yeah.
Granted, with 4 boys, good on you for making like a smart, productive, and prudent decision. But we're, in that particular time frame, what I'm hearing is you were actually like planning a vision for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I think too, because during that time, like I said, always been active, loved being active, but being a mom was, like I said, incredible. But you do start to feel guilty taking the time for yourself, and nobody's really making you feel guilty. It's just you feel that, like
biology.
Yeah, like, oh, I shouldn't take this time to myself, or my baby's crying and I'm in the middle of my workout. Like, what do I do? But I had noticed too, like, the less active I was, the lower my self-esteem was, and I knew that fitness helps build your confidence. So I needed to start being more active. But I also knew that not everybody knew that. So I was like, I'm going to open a gym and help people. And I started to make my list. And these gyms I was working for just didn't really check those boxes. So it kind of was fun to coach, and it was fun to do the group fitness. But there was just things I was like, no, let's not do that. So, yeah.
Copy that. All right, so kind of fast forward, you make the decision to open your Fit Body Bootcamp location. What did that experience look like? I wanted to kind of get some insight, on-site experience from your perspective. Want to just, paint the picture for the audience of what sort of structure or support you've walked into. That would be probably my next question. Then I want to talk about, what's it like getting it open and like the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So on-site was incredible from like day one. So you're going to on-site to this brand that you're excited to work with, but you don't really know anybody or a ton about it, and it's kind of like, I'm nervous.
Scary.
There's going to be other new owners there, and you're going to meet people from HQ and Jake and John, who are like been coaches forever, and it's kind of intimidating. But literally from the second you meet everybody at dinner and everyone's just like welcoming, like, wait, I feel like I've been your friend forever. And you have dinner and you got to meet those other owners who are going to be opening up around the same time as you, and you have each other. Like, the people I went to on-site with, I still communicate with. I know, where they're at on their journey. And, I went with David, who's in Washington, and Lily in Georgia, and then Kevin is in Texas. And like, I still talk to them. We follow each other. We message each other. So like, you immediately had support with other owners that were going to be going through the same thing as you. That was like day one. You're sitting at the table talking, like hearing their stories. And then
to that point, I want to interject before you go into the next days. That reminds me, of clients coming into your location. They're scared. They're clearly excited on one hand because that's the reason they're coming. They're in pain, but they're nervous. They're scared. And then your coaches, your team, just like welcome them in. Yep. I mean, that's probably the same type of experience that I would imagine you felt like, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I feel like it's as close as it can be, because I felt like, oh, you start to kind of feel like, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'm good enough, and then you meet everybody and they're like, we got this, like it's you're in it together.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly like the clients feel as they walk in.
Cool, love it. So I interjected, but then you kind of laid out the opening dinner, and then what does that actually training look like day 1 through, I guess, 3?
Yeah, so you start off, I think it's like 5 a.m. They're starting you right off.
4:45 actually.
4:45,
you have to get,
that's right. Yeah. And you get to like just actually watch the sessions, because you've been hearing about them, you've been reading about it, but you get to actually like watch it in action. You'll watch the coaches in action, the members. We got time to talk to the members after and like, what do you love about Fit Body? And they will tell you like it's changed their lives, or they've lost a lot of weight, or whatever it might be. They're all on a different journey, but they we got to talk to those members at your location, and they were all amazing. I still remember some of them and their names, but just, yeah, talking to the members, seeing the session take place, and then between sessions we had trainings, and we got to learn about the workouts, and Jake and John were amazing. Any question we had, they're like, there's no question you can't ask, and there really wasn't. Anything we asked, they would answer it. You just had training, and then back to sessions again after the break, and just watching them coach, trying to figure that out, and then watching the members and the way the rotation happens. So yeah, it was a packed day one, but it's like, it was so much good information that you can like visually see it now in action. So.
Which is super important, right? To not only be able to kind of provide the game plan, but from a sports background where I come from, it's important for a coach to be able to lay the game plan, the X's and O's, but you really don't get good until you actually see it and practice in the field in real time, which is to that point. And I'll be able to brief you in the sense of Brooke talked about Jake and John. Jake and John are both HQ teammates. They also oversee, they're our head coach, or my head coach and client coordinator for our Mission Viejo location. They've been working with the brand, I guess, going at this particular time, going on 10 years and then 6 years respectively. Jake now is actually the main host of the Inside Look. So just to be able to color that in, just to be able to provide some context. So I guess continue on. Is there anything else from the on-site experience that, was really memorable for you?
Yeah, well, because then day two, it's like, now we're going to put you on the mic. Like, you guys are you're going to coach our members who have been part of FitBody way longer than you have. So that was intimidating, but also like Jake and John kept telling us, like, this is the most intimidating it's ever going to be. So if you can do this on the mic, you can do it in your sessions. And
by the way, just giving you a shout out, beast mode this morning. Like, I was super proud. Like, come in here, 7:30 session was great to celebrate your team and your clients. And just, you brought so much energy. It was great. Like, you could feel it. So you're a great coach.
Thank you. Which is funny because that first time on the mic, I was not a great coach. And we gave each other feedback after, because that is a big part of FitBody is feedback, because we want to always be growing. And so Jake and John would give us the good and the bad. And it was like, I don't know if there's any good. It was not great. It was scary. But it definitely was the most intimidating I'll ever be on the mic in front of those members.
How helpful was that for you, though, to go through that experience? Because then now you know what your new coaches are going to experience as well. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, exactly. And I do tell them that. I'm like, I still remember being on site, and these members, they know FitBody better than I do at this point. And that's like our members. A lot of our members, we have a couple new coaches, and our members have been here longer than the coaches. And I'm like, but you're the coach. Like, they're the member, and you're still coaching them. It doesn't matter how long they've been here or you've been here. You're their coach, and they look up to you, and you're showing them the way and encouraging them. And so we do have that talk a lot.
And to your credit, though, like, to be able to bring that story, it connects your new coach with you even more so. And it's not lost on me that, to start with that foundation for you to kind of share that story for you probably connects them more. It gives them more confidence. It relieves some anxiety. So I think that's just a very, very powerful point to bring up.
Yeah, I think it helps someone always. Like, you're just going to get better and better every time you're on the mic. And the first time is, I don't care who you are, the first time on the mic, hearing yourself talk.
I sucked. The CEO of the brand, I sucked. Yeah. We joke around the back end with our training programs, everyone sucks when they first start. Our job is just to reduce the suckage factor. We do that through training and development and cultural feedback.
Yeah, exactly. And they do. They get better every single time they're on the mic. So it's fun.
Good on you. Yeah. All right, we'll continue on the rest of the That's interesting. It's a crash course, because I would only imagine you're coming in, you're excited to be part of the brand. You're nervous, though. You have a good, welcoming Sunday dinner, so you're kind of like, cool, like, I'm with my people. But then you're observing day one, which is a whole different experience. Then on day two, you're actually coaching. Yeah. And to give our audience some, feedback, very rarely do I have any new owner being like, yeah, I'm going to dominate on the mic. It's 99.9% of the time, like, I know I can do it, but can I really do it? That's really the conversations that we all have in our head. And so this is very, very common, which is why it's very valuable for us to bring your story to light.
Yeah. And then they had us between sessions, like, be on the mic just with each other in there. And same thing, giving feedback. Like, you did this great, you could do this better. And they sent us the video of that and us coaching and the feedback with it. And so we could watch it, when we got home, and like, oh yeah, I did do that, or I I should have done that or whatever. So it was just a lot of coaching help. One of the guys I was there with was just somebody had sent their coach, and he was just getting better at coaching.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was awesome. Another really awesome part about Onsite was we went to lunch together every day. It wasn't required, but like the owners that were there were like, well, we're all going to lunch. Should we go together? And that just also helped us get to know each other better as owners, and like, we're in this together. You're going to help me with this, and I'll help you with that, because we all have our strengths and weaknesses. So.
And I'll interject here, I love that aspect of our brand. I'm sitting here and never would have met you, right?
Yeah.
You know, from Utah, I'm from California, but we're going to connect on the same mission. And, you know, we just, you know, finished our mastermind where we got a chance to connect with owners from New York to, you know, Florida and on. And you just talked about, you know, in your on-site, you know, Texas and Georgia. So it's a really cool experience to be able to be part of a brand that's in the same mission, but we all come from like different walks of life, and we probably wouldn't cross paths without this.
Yeah.
And actually, Belle said that today from her experience. You know, she's 21 years old, like super green, super new, but you know, in life, right? You know, attacking those life experiences, but you know, you can already see like the life experience, the maturity, the confidence she's gained in working with other people that, in her words, like I normally have never worked with. So that's the value. It's like a pressure cooker of development, uncomfortable development, but really that makes everyone better.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good part, like going to lunch with them and just.
Connecting and building
deeper
that relationship.
Than just the time at your location, learning all that was awesome, but that time at lunch where we would just get to talk about our story and what we hope for our locations.
It's kind of like the members when they come in for the result, but then I heard it, you know, literally handfuls of time today. I came in the result, I wanted, you know, more confidence, I wanted to lose weight, et cetera, but then I realized, oh my God, there's friends and now family here that like feel connected. So very similar type analogy, just instead of the member's perspective, but what we have from our owner's lens as well.
Yeah, I have one member, she told me, I thought I was gonna come in and like the music was loud enough and the coaches are loud, like I'm gonna come in, I don't have to talk to anybody, and then I'll leave. And she's like, do you know how many numbers I've exchanged since I started? So yeah.
That's great.
Awesome.
Cool, well, any other things about Onsite that you want to share? If not, I kind of have a last overarching kind of theme of the conversation.
Yeah, I think that was my key takeaways, is just visually seeing it, because I knew when I was going to start selling membership before I was open, so being able to like see what I was going to be selling was just a key part of it.
So how helpful would you say was Onsite experience in that kind of foundational training to, you know, give you confidence to execute?
Like 10 out of 10. I don't think. Yeah, it would just be so hard to open without being able to like see a fit body and see exactly how it's ran, and like at a good location that's running it properly, and just seeing all the steps and having them answer any questions you have and coach you through it. It's so important.
Good, love that. All right, so kind of the last part of the conversation, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're shooting this at the end of 2024. You launched in, you know, January, at least, you know, from my understanding. In the grand scheme of things, you're still very new, right? Yeah. So, you know, as you launched the business, what's been your most rewarding part of this, and then challenging? And probably start with challenging, and then we'll kind of leave on a high note. But yeah, would love to hear your thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, we've had a few challenges. I signed actually with FitBody as a franchise partner in July of 2022, but there was no availability around here. I couldn't find a building to open.
For like the real estate.
Yeah, real estate. I couldn't find a spot, and there was nothing available, or like I'd finally find a spot and they're like, oh, we don't want a gym there. And so I didn't actually end up signing a lease until April, so almost a full year of searching for just a location. When I went to Onsite, I actually didn't even have my location yet, because I just couldn't find a spot. And then once we found it, it was like, hurry, get to work, let's build it out. But then even just there was some complications with that, with the city and fire safety and stuff like that. And so it just took a long time to get the build out completed and approved by the city to open. So we originally thought we were going to open in November and then December, and then it's like, well, now it's Christmas. We can't open at Christmas time. No one wants to start a membership at a week before Christmas. So we just did some free sessions and then opened like our first full week after Christmas. And So the challenging part for us was a lot just like getting
it off the ground.
Getting off the ground.
And from my perspective, just to shine a little bit of insight, it's interesting. It just the economic factors, it just kind of ebbs and flows. In 2012, when I first launched my location, it was still shortly after the Great Recession in 2008, so there was a lot of availability. But then things have kind of changed a little bit. So just that is big hurdle in the business, if you will. It's probably the biggest hurdle, I would say, from my lens, especially when you're looking at the first probably 3 or 4 years of the business.
Yeah, that was my biggest hurdle, was just finding the real estate, finding somewhere that would let me open a gym in that location that was big enough, that was close. I wanted fairly close to my house and in my territory, and so that was probably my biggest complication.
How close is your house from where we're at right now?
It's 5 minutes.
I was going to say, how helpful is that?
Yeah, it's amazing because, like I said, I'm here at a lot of the sessions. I want my members to see me and also be here for my coaches. So I'm here multiple times a day. So being
helpful.
Very helpful.
Okay. Let's finish home. Like, what would you say has been the most rewarding part of your journey as you look back? Not necessarily on site, like the foundation, but just getting the business off the ground and connecting with members and starting to build a community here.
Yeah. So in 2020, we all went through a pandemic, and it was hard. They were taking away gyms. They were taking away family. We had to stay inside, and they talk about COVID and the death rates, but they weren't talking about the other pandemics happening in the United States. We have heart disease, diabetes, cancer, obesity. I mean, it's strokes.
Health crisis. I'll interject here. Holy smokes, I shared this at Mastermind, but I have an electric car. I haven't gone to the gas station in a while, and I was in a training with my brother Barrett, who's our director of coaching, and I went into this gas station because I forgot, I was like gum. I went to pick up a pack of gum, and I just look at everything in this convenience store, this gas station. It's just lined with sugar, processed foods, and it just goes to show me, like, man, there's a health crisis right here. So back to the quote-unquote pandemic, I mean, I have very strong views against, what happened, which I'm not very favorable against, and I think the quote-unquote cure was way worse than actually, what happened, which is a travesty, because at the end of the day, in that period of time frame, all time frames, people need connection, people need fitness, people need community. So those are definitely challenges, to your point. So continue on.
Yeah, exactly. So they're, taking away fitness. They're taking away that we need social. We need relationships and community, and they're taking that away. And that kind of fired me up. A lot of these diseases that are the top leading death rates in the United States are preventable, treatable diseases, but they're not telling us that.
No.
No one says, if you just move your body, movement is medicine.
Yes.
Food is medicine.
Yes.
We can nourish our bodies with movement. We can nourish our bodies with food, and we can prevent these diseases. But the rate just continues to rise and rise. I mean, I think if you look on the CDC website, there's over 700,000 deaths from heart disease, over 600,000 cancer.
I mean, 80% of our population is either obese or overweight, and that's not to shame anyone. That's just to point a problem, right? But that's just the top of the onion, if you will. If you peel that thread, that's where you're getting all these, these issues that are just very, very severe, are affecting our population. And to your point, the vast majority of them are preventable.
Yeah. I mean, even self-esteem, suicide is on the rise in our country, and community, exercise, it all helps with all these diseases. If you look up ways to treat or prevent heart disease, exercise. Healthy diet, cancer, exercise, healthy diet, it's the same for every single one of them.
Dr. Peter Adia, who's very, very large in he's a doctor, comes from a medical background, has a huge following on YouTube. Aside from stopping smoking cigarettes, health and fitness, like getting an active regimen at least 3 times a week of high-intensity interval training, will prevent all these things you're talking about, which just shows the power. So we're known for a sustainable weight loss, right? Our clients are coming in because they want to lose weight, and that's super important, right? That comes to nutrition, that's fuel, but just getting our members and our planet and our society and our country here to work out at a Fit Body Boot Camp location 3 times a week, we would see so many less issues from a health perspective. So I'm just grateful for your vision on that, and for you being part of the solution.
Yeah, so I would say that is the most rewarding part, is knowing, even if their results might not be showing up on the scale yet because they haven't been here long enough, or maybe they're not changing their diet at home yet, they're not telling you the whole story, so they're not, seeing the results on the in-body scan that we want to see, like they're still bettering their health, they're still lowering the risk of these diseases that are killing most people in our country, and just knowing that like everyone might not be talking about it, but here at FitBody, they know like movement is medicine, and we tell them that all the time. Or Coach Malin, she likes to say, what is it? It's like, motion is the best potion or something like that.
Motion is the best potion. That's
something
true.
like that. She's like, someone
yeah.
that's sore, my neck hurts. She's like, motion, you got to get
Move
your
it.
body in motion, get moving. So I get texts from members or messages from members saying like, you've changed my life, because I never wanted to go to a gym, and I just came to try it for one time, and like here I am, and I love it. We have one member, she told me like she has tried multiple gyms, she just had given up, like I'm not meant for gyms or fitness, and she did 2 sessions yesterday.
I met a member who said today, working out with her, said she tried everything, nothing stuck.
Yeah.
And then this place has been literally a godsend for her.
Yeah, so that's what's rewarding, is like just knowing these are people who, some of them, they're already active, they're already fit, but some of them would never step foot in a gym or be active or working out if it weren't for FitBody. So I just think whenever I'm like feeling like down, I'm just like, think of those messages, like those people that they're here and they're moving their body and they're lowering their risk of disease.
And they're super grateful for you. You can see that, you can sense it, you can feel it. So I just wanted to, again, provide you one more piece of acknowledgement. As we wrap up this episode, is there any other things that you feel like important to share, or I guess a message for the audience?
I was just going to say with FitBody, like going back to my list, I had created like my dream, my dream gym, like it's going to have all these things. And when I started, I researched franchises like for years, actually. Mm-hmm. I mean, 2020 was COVID, but even before that, I had started researching gyms and like, should I open my own? Should I open a franchise?
You knew in your high school, that was the initial thought we talked about.
Yeah, and just researching franchises, I had phone calls with a lot of them, but it wasn't until I got on the phone with Max from FitBody, and I was like, oh my gosh, this checks every single one of my boxes, plus more, because you have the support of HQ and the other owners.
What were some of those boxes, just to be able to provide clarity to the audience? I'm curious too.
Yeah, so one thing, like I always say, like FitBody is for everybody and every body, because there's so many gyms out there. You feel like you have to be pretty fit to even go, which is the point in coming. Like we want to help you get there, and so we have members from like been working out their whole life to this is the first time I've ever worked out. Your coaches are giving you options. They're helping you through. Like they never leave your side on the floor. They're there the whole time, and so it doesn't matter how fit you are or if you've ever worked out. So that was one thing, is just the way, that's just the FitBody community. It's for everybody. Mm-hmm. Some other things are like 30-minute sessions. Like everyone can make time for 30 minutes. I'm a busy mom with 4 boys. I know like sometimes it can be hard. Like when you feel like you have to go spend an hour and a half at the gym, but it's 30 minutes. And that's like start to finish. Yeah. We have the warm up done for you, the cool down, the workout's done. You walk in, it's set up for you, you do it. You're 30 minutes. Everyone can make time for that. It's very family oriented. FitBody's like, we do our cheer at the end, we say family, and like we make sure our members know like we mean it. Like we're not just doing a funny cheer at the end, like we are family.
Oh, yeah,
you
community.
Guys are family. Yeah, the community. We go back to COVID, like we need that community. And so, and like I was telling you, like we have members getting each other's phone numbers. They'll text each other, what time are you going today? People, and going back to like what Belle was saying, how some of our members are 3 times her age, and she's friends with them. And that's the same with our members, is some of our members are 20 years apart and they're friends and they're texting, like, let's go to the 6:15 session. Or we have members who are new to Utah and don't have friends here, but they have friends at FitBody. Members inviting each other to concerts and stuff. So the community at FitBody.
Well, speaking of which, one of the members I worked out today with, he got introduced to FitBody because his niece in Arizona went to a FitBody, lost like 100 pounds or something like that. He was inspired with hers, like, what are you doing? And then now he's here. So not only is the community here, but also too, throughout the country.
Yeah, FitBody is one massive community. And we see that at World Conference. We see that at Mastermind or just at Onsite. Like, any member or any owner, you can reach out to any owner and ask them a question and they're going to tell you. Or let them know your member's traveling to where their location is and they're like, great, bring them in. Like, we'd love to meet them. It is like, I'm the only owner, but I feel like I have like hundreds of people supporting me. So yeah, it's a community within our members, but it's a community within like the whole brand. And just, yeah, the other thing about Fit Body is like the accountability. Like, not all gyms hold you accountable, and they don't care if you show up or you don't show up. They're getting your money, so what do they care? But
well, we heard at Mastermind with one of our friends who has a Fit Body in Georgia. He owned another franchise before, and the whole model, this was not like group fitness, et cetera. There's a whole model was to sell people and pray that 90% actually don't come because there's not enough spots in the gym. That's backwards.
yeah, that is backwards.
To your point.
Because we're trying to change lives. I
Yeah.
mean, Fit Body's mission statement is inspire fitness and change lives every day. And if they're not here, we're not inspiring fitness, we're not changing lives. And so we hold them accountable to be here. Like, you have a membership here, you're gonna come. And so the accountability is like a big part. And yeah, most gyms are like, pay us and we don't care, but that's not how Fit Body works. So yeah, those are like the checks on my box. Like, you gotta eliminate, like, it's gotta be quick, you gotta be for everybody. You got to support and love all your members, and we're just one big family. So.
Wow. Well, Brooke Bishop, this has been awesome. As we close today, I just want to acknowledge you first for allowing my team and I to come and celebrate you for the amazing work at Freedom Week. Super inspiring, and seeing you, coaching was absolutely a treat for me. I was dying, partly because I realized the elevation. Holy smokes, I got my butt handed to me today, but it was the workout, it was the environment, it was your coaching. Seeing your members in action, seeing your coaches in action, it makes me, proud to work with you, be a partner with you, because you are truly inspiring fitness and changing lives. So I acknowledge that in you.
Thank you. It was so fun. We loved having you here, for sure.
Well, thank you, friends. Hopefully you got a lot of value. And as you know, our program, What Fit Body Bootcamp is known for, is a sustainable weight loss. In fact, we are known for the place where our clients lose the weight for the last time. But as you heard from Brooke's testimony, it's a lot more than that. So hopefully this was extremely valuable for you. And remember, as we close out this episode, no one's coming to save you. You must save yourself, and the time is now. We'll see you in the next episode.